And joining us today in our Book Talk segment, great to welcome back a woman who's written another in a great series of books called Unlikely Heroes. This is called 37 Inspiring Stories of Courage and Heart from the Animal Kingdom. We're joined today by Jennifer Holland on the telephone. And Jennifer, I think we talked about a year or two ago when you had a previous book out, so it's good to talk to you again. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me back.
Yeah, good to have a chance to chat with you again. I'm an animal lover. I know a lot of our audience is as well, and great stories again of not only dogs but other animals as well that have helped people. That's kind of interesting. Some animals you wouldn't maybe think of being that helpful are, right?
Exactly. That was kind of the fun of this book was, looking certainly at a lot of dog stories, but also looking across the animal kingdom and seeing where other kinds of animals have stepped in and done something that we might consider to be heroic. And it's quite a diversity of animals out there that have done that.
I know dolphins have always been thought of as being kind of helpful. We have an interesting story in there of dolphins helping out, I guess, swimmers, right? Or they help the dog as well. Yeah.
Yeah, there were a couple of dolphin examples in there where, in one case, some lifeguards were doing a practice swim out in the ocean off New Zealand and had an encounter with a great white shark that could have gone very badly. And fortunately, there was a pod of dolphins in the area that literally came and surrounded the swimmers and stayed with them and protected them until the shark swam away. It's really one of those stories you kind of hear maybe has happened somewhere or other, but you weren't really sure if it was true, and it turns out that it does happen that way. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, living down here in Florida, you see the dolphins, in the wild and some of the theme parks, and you do hear stories like that. And somehow in the dolphins' minds, they know, I guess, other animals or people are in danger. Somehow they know to help out. It's kind of interesting how they know
that.
Yeah,
they do seem to have a certain compassion that you might not always attribute to other animals, but that seems to be there.
You had one in there. I saw a llama once in my life. Seemed like a very gentle animal, but you had one in there that they help out some elderly people, right? At a rehab center, is that right?
That's right. Yeah, there was actually some folks that have trained a number of llamas to be therapy animals, and you wouldn't really think that of llamas. Sometimes they can be actually a little aggressive, a little bit nasty, but they've had wonderful luck with these animals being extremely tolerant and actually quite loving, and they take them around to hospitals and old folks' homes and all kinds of places where people just kind of need a little boost, and the animals really bring out a light in people. It's really wonderful to see.
Yeah, I always thought they were kind of like camels. You didn't want to really get too close to them.
That's right. They spit and things like that, I've been told.
they look gentle, but yeah, I had heard that they you don't want to get too close, at least near their face anyway. But the one in this book is helping people. That's good to know.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just great fun because there's an elephant seal in here that protected a man who was about to be attacked by actually a bunch of other seals in a zoo exhibit. We've got a Afghanistan vet who really was having a very tough time during the war and adopted a stray cat on the base. And he says that cat really saved his life. It really became the companion that he needed at a very important time. So there's all kinds of stuff in here that hopefully brings a light to people's lives and a happy story.
You got a great story in there about a parrot that saved a life.
Yeah, this was a really neat one. We, you hear about parrots that talk, and certainly they're very intelligent and can say all kinds of things. But in this case, the parrot actually alerted a babysitter when the baby was choking, food had caught in its throat, and the bird called out a combination of words that they had never heard it say before. It said "mama," "baby," those two words over and over again, clearly trying to get a message across. And because of that, the babysitter came into the room and was able to do the Heimlich maneuver and save the little girl. So they definitely owe that bird a big thank you.
That's amazing. I always thought the parrots didn't really know what they were saying. They just kind of popped out. But that one certainly did.
It was really surprising. That's what makes these really remarkable.
How do you get these stories? And you get some great pictures in the book as well. How do you get the pictures of them?
Well, I've been very fortunate in terms of photographs. I've been able to make that sort of part of the process. I really look for stories that have good photographs, and so many people these days take very, very, very good photos, so it's been easier to find. And in terms of the stories, I will look for maybe just a little snippet of news somewhere or photograph, or I have a lot of contacts at zoos and wildlife facilities and other animal-related facilities, and so I'm always hearing about these kinds of things from afar. And it's just a matter of a lot of research and phone calls and finding out what the story is.
Does it amaze you how these animals seem to, like we talked about before, have that sense when a human is in danger or maybe another animal is in danger to help them out? You wonder where that comes from.
Yeah, I think more and more we're really seeing a lot more overlap between how, other mammal brains work and how the human brain works, and I think there are so many animals that really do have the capacity for empathy and can really think in ways that maybe we didn't know that they could before. And so, but we still don't really know exactly what's going on in their heads at the moment that they make the choices they make. But certainly they do seem to reach out and offer assistance in a lot of situations.
A great picture on the cover of the book, and a story about the dog who sadly, I guess, was frostbite, right? He lost use of his four front paws, or all paws, right? He has
That's
artificial
right.
legs. That's a great story.
Yep. 4 prosthetic limbs and just the most spirited, positive, happy animal you can imagine, just kind of pushing onward with what he's got, and has been a great inspiration to a lot of kids and a lot of other folks that have had troubles of their own.
Amazing how particularly dogs are adaptable. I've seen other pictures of dogs who they lose a limb or an eye or something like that, and they seem pretty happy after they're healed up. They don't seem to.
They really do. They
it.
don't seem to realize the loss at all. They just know what they want to do, and they just keep trying to do it. So.
Yeah. Well, the name of the book is Unlikely Heroes, and this features 37 inspiring stories of animals helping out people and other animals. And Jennifer Holland, you have a website you want to direct people to?
Sure. My own personal website is called CuttlefishPros.com, and you can see a lot of my magazine and book work there. And then in terms of getting the book, I always recommend people stop by their local shop if they still have one, and otherwise the online retailers all should be carrying it now.
Do you have another one in the works, animal book?
I have some ideas, not quite on paper yet, but I'm hoping to keep moving forward with these. I'm enjoying it very much.
Great. Look forward to talking to you at that time. But again, Unlikely Heroes is the name of the current book. And Jennifer, thanks for joining us. Good to talk to you.
Thank you. Thanks for